tuperos y tuperas. Today on Dupe by the River, we have transfer news to talk about in September. Yeah, stay tuned for that one. We're also going to recap Atlanta United. What a win on Saturday afternoon against Atlanta United. And, of course, we're going to preview this midweek match against the team we hate the most, I think, the New York Red Bull. And, ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere because you do not want to miss this episode of Dupe by the River. And let's get this started, guys. Dale! And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to Dupe by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union and brought to you by Philly Sports Network. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say hello to YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. What has happened, everyone? Welcome on into Dupe by the River. It's gonna be a giant-packed episode. We're gonna roast a couple teams that we don't like, guys. We end with the team we don't like, and we're gonna end with the original team that we don't like. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Before we dive in, gentlemen, please do not forget, if you're watching this live on Barcelona Phillies YouTube channel, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are not on PSN tonight. Shouts to Flipping the Birds. They're having a great interview today. If you guys are Eagles fans, you know about the dog mentality. They're interviewing the gentleman who designed those T-shirts. So it's definitely a dope one. And you can check out Flipping the Birds, and you can check out Dupe by the River wherever you stream podcasts. It's all on PSN Radio. It'll be on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Definitely subscribe and leave a rating to both of our pods or PSN Radio if you're so kind. And now let me introduce to you guys my experts and dupers. We're starting off with my man. I'm so curious how he comes up with these nicknames. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Justin Guzantier, Harvester, Freiburg, and with this beautiful kid as well. What's up, Justin?
I'm doing pretty good. As I said before the show, the process of creating these names is a labor of love, and this name has particular love because of my dislike for Brad Guzan. So shouts to the bald himself, Brad. I still don't like you. But nah, man, I'm excited. It was a good game over the weekend. Ready to review that and ready to preview what I think is going to be an interesting game. If I'm being honest with myself.
Aren't they always, Justin? And we'll definitely have to send over like a GoPro or something. We'll have to find the process that Justin comes up with coming up with these nicknames because they are pretty damn
just like a little vlog of Justin brainstorming nicknames for the week's episode.
Well, you guys already heard our other co-host. Please welcome my man, Mr. Zach Labasso, who came into this podcast boasting because his Cowboys won last night. But Zach, what's happening, brother? It's good seeing you.
I'm riding high, man. I'm riding high. It's a good day. JV varsity wins. JV goes to 6-2 on the season. Varsity to 5-2-1. Cowboys won last night. Go Cowboys. And the Union won on the weekend as well. So I mean, I'm having a great week so far. Haven't had a bad day.
Well, I need you to keep this energy going for the Union this week. Can you do that for us?
No, I'm confident going into a Red Bull game.
Okay. You hear that, Justin? He's getting a little optimistic on us. Well, here's the realism.
Is Zach gonna pull off the mask and it's really Tim?
Yeah,
that's the twist. That's the reveal.
You meddling dupers.
Absolutely. Where's Scooby-Doo when you need him?
Or Fang. Jared is in the building. What's up, my brother Jared? Give me Matt or give me death. I'm sure he's talking about our guest a little bit later in the show. All right, Jared. Shouts to Jared. Shouts to Jared getting on the Union promo video there. That was pretty dope. And Jared said he needs a review of the mac and cheese. Justin, did you get to try this? I saw the pictures. I'm really jealous.
Yes, I did.
Love mac and cheese, man.
Yes, I did. And as I told Jared, because he was sitting right next to me, and the look on my face was of pure delight, that mac and cheese was the shit, and I was honestly amazed, and I absolutely loved it. And I may need to start getting a weekly shipment of the Jared mac and cheese. I'll pay shipping costs, whatever it takes, Jared. We'll hash those details out.
It looked very good from the Twitter post that I saw.
Jared and well, I guess everyone, rumor has it that Jared did not use any seasoning for this mac and cheese. What he used instead and what you were tasting were the tears of Atlanta United fans. So there you
Yes.
go.
Yes, very
That adds
salty.
that nice salt.
Yeah,
that nice
very
bitterness.
salty in those tears. Yeah.
Yes. Let's give some
Sorry,
respect
yeah,
to Miss Erica. Yes, she did it.
Yeah,
You both
she'd
did
beat
a
all
great
of
job.
us if we didn't give her the proper respect.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. We'll get to that Atlanta match, but we want to get to some business at hand, gentlemen, because we were a little bit in the, I guess what you call it, the transferville or transfer mill, I guess. Not really, but the Union have loaned out. They didn't get a loanee. They loaned out youth product Cole Turner to El Paso Locomotive FC. So he's taking his talents down to Texas, and he'll be continuing his play this season over there with El Paso, who are in USL. Guys, it really raises an interesting point because we really haven't talked about it. Look, we have invested a lot into the youth. We all know a portion of the transfer fee from Mark and Brendan went into the youth academy. And with the season, the transition that the MLS is going with this whole developmental league that starts in 2022, it does leave a group of players that are stuck in limbo, whether they do what Cole is doing right now or they just are not getting game time in general, which can be detrimental to your development. I just wanted to get your guys' point of view. I mean, what your thoughts on? We'll start with Zach here. Thoughts on Cole's leaving? What do you think of the player? I know Zach, you like to be in tune with the youth kids as well. And your thoughts on just like what do these kids do with this limbo that's going on, man?
So I'm not really sure. I would guess that they're gonna play some sort of games, like probably friendlies or whatever. While the season is not going on. I mean, I think it's good for him because he's obviously not getting game time in this squad that they have. Which only a few of the youth players are. You've had Harry will come in when he needs to because we have issues at right back, and then the only other two are Paxton's getting more minutes as the season goes on, but Quinn and Jack are really the two mainstays that have been getting somewhat regular minutes.
So Brandon Craig as well.
Yeah, and Matt Real, who just disappeared from existence apparently. But yeah, I just think it's a good move because he needs minutes. If you're going to get better, you need minutes. Like you're not going to get better just practicing and probably being on the second team and getting beat up by the first team when they're scrimmaging or whatnot in practice. It's tough, and I think regular minutes is going to be good for players like him, and I think the Union should, especially when this thing starts taking off, this league that they have going on. If the Union can loan guys there as opposed to full transfers or whatever, I think that'll definitely be a good move to get guys who wouldn't normally play more.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm excited for that for Cole just to go down there. I mean, I did like having you two down in the USL ranks simply because I just like the competition that kind of brings the most out of them, and I think that's why guys like Brendan and Mark developed the way they did. But Justin, anything to add on that, man? Like, what are your thoughts on this, and like what the hell do these teams do with these kids?
I mean, I think this was inevitable. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I think, listen, Cole only appeared in one game, and that was when everyone was gone. So, I mean, really, he's a CDM. And in that position, you're stuck behind Brujo and Leon. And also Bueno, if you include, now that you have Bueno in the mix. So, listen, if you want to get him minutes, maybe he pushes enough at El Paso to where maybe next year the Union consider, giving him more of a shot, or maybe he goes to El Paso. I don't know. I think this idea that all our players have to go to Europe and all this have to be generate this, these high prices is nuts. And I think this is the reality of producing players. Not saying Cole Turner's a miss, but not every player is going to be a home run. Sometimes it's just, decent players. Some guys are MLS lifers. Some guys bounce around the USL. I'd be curious, and from what I've heard about El Paso, and I try to watch USL when I can. Typically, they're the ones that are on midweek, so I get the chance to watch. Usually their games are a little later than MLS games, so I'll get in between. I've heard El Paso is a pretty defensive team, so throwing a CDM into a pretty defensive team is a pretty good recipe to build on, and I'm sure he'll get a decent amount of minutes. So I'm excited. I'm curious to see what if he starts to push, and again, it's the idea that him going there is anything bad about the team. No, it's listen, You're still producing players that are still playing at high levels. Like USL is not the championship's not a slouch. It's not the MLS, but it's still pretty damn respectable league.
Absolutely. Justin, be honest with us. You're watching USL to find some new kits to buy, aren't you?
Yeah, well, trust me, I'm on the pulse of that, John. Let's be honest here. And also, I do have, I'm in a few soccer chats. Shout out to Gully Squad and the best soccer show Slack. So I got my finger on the pulse on various things, and there was one that I actually had to restrain myself from buying. It was the OKC Energy kit. It's a green and pink kit. Check it out. It's pretty wild, and honestly, I've thought about it at least once a month. That kit is like straight fire.
Isn't Forward Madison in USL?
Yeah, well, they're in League Two. Actually, you know what?
Could be League One if they play their cards right, huh?
Let me see if I can pull.
What were you gonna say, Zach, real quick?
The Detroit City FC charity kit that they just came out with is pretty awesome.
Well, MLS, if you're thinking about expansion, bring Detroit, please. I like that sports town.
I don't think. DCFC is not coming, but.
All right, You know what? I've found the pic, so let me see if I can share my screen and not.
There usually is a way to do that.
Let's see. Why does it not want to? Oh, wait, here we go. Chrome tab. Share. So.
Here. Oh, geez, Louise, guys. The straight drip.
That's fire. That's fire.
Right? Like, straight up, that is fire. If y'all like I said, that's the one that I've been sleeping on, and I don't know if I should sleep on it much longer because it's tempting, to be honest.
We really are doing the listeners who are going to probably listen to this on a pod a disservice. So what we'll do, I will tweet it out from the DOOP by the River Twitter account because these people need to see what the heck we just saw. So because that was really beautiful. Good stuff by our man Justin there. But all right, let's get to the action on the pitch here, guys. So as we know, this past Saturday, a nice afternoon game. It was a nice day game. I think it was the first one of the season.
Orlando's was 4:30.
That's right.
3:30 was 3:30. I think is a better time. In all honesty, that's a nice solid time because then you go home and you still have plenty to do the rest of the day.
Hell yeah. And that's the beauty of soccer. It's only 2 hours, so you know exactly when you're going to get out. But
exactly,
it was a beautiful day. It was a great day for soccer. And if you watched our episode preview the Atlanta match, we all weren't really feeling too confident what was going to happen on Saturday afternoon. Simply because Atlanta was hot, and we weren't sure. We don't really know. I mean, I still even after Saturday, I still don't really know what we really are, or how good we really are this season. But in the end, it was a barn burner. It was a typical Atlanta and Philly. There was some pushing and shoving. There was a nice little scene from El Brujo. We'll talk about El Brujo in a second with Ezequiel Barco. But in the end, thanks to a nice El Brujo run in the 70s, was able to find Casper Shibuko, who was able to just poke that pass. Justin's favorite goalkeeper in the MLS, Brad Guzan. And that was really the difference. Atlanta really couldn't do much else. And the Union would win. I really want to commend, and it's true when we know how this Union team is built, when the defense is on point, and I really want to commend the defense because I think that as a unit, the defense did a pretty solid job on Saturday, kind of neutralizing and controlling Atlanta United's attack. I mean, when you hold Atlanta, who were putting up some good numbers, I mean, I think they were averaging like 3 goals in their 3 wins. 6 shots, 2 on target. I'll take that. I will absolutely take that all day. So definitely want to commend the defense to start off there. And as we all know, if the Union defense is doing its job, that makes everyone's job easier. And El Brujo was able to make a nice run to find Kasper Shipilko. Zach, I want to, you know what? Yeah, no, Zach, we'll start with you, my man. What did you see from the Union in this match that impressed you? Was it the defense? If you want to talk about the attack, you let me know, man.
I thought it was just an overall very good performance, top to bottom. I thought that they were consistent. And yeah, I just thought the consistency throughout all 90 minutes was what impressed me the most. Like, there weren't many, if any, lulls, like where Atlanta kind of like picked up the pace and had the momentum. Like, it was really the Union kind of just controlling the game, and they played their game and it worked. So that was what was most impressive to me, was how consistent they were over the course of the full 90.
Yeah, you're. I mean, that's the one thing too. Like, it's crazy because it is back-to-back games where it was consistent play, and obviously they won the game. Justin, look, that was a good performance, but are you sold on this attack, or what else do you need to see from this attack, my man?
For once, I think this attack showed me what it can be. Jim said it best, and I think a lot of people said it. This game could have easily been 2 or 3-0. With the way that the Union were really pressing hard, and the biggest difference that allowed the Union to get all their chances was the play of Olivier Mbaizo and Kai Wagner. They were pressing higher up the field, and it forced Atlanta's 3-5-2 into a 5-4-1 because they were trying to put a lot of people behind the ball, and it just wasn't working for them. But the Union had a ton of chances. I mean, that game could have and probably should have been at least 2 or 3-0. But the nice thing was, you finally saw it clicking. You finally saw, Gazdag really getting involved. Jamiro at his best position as a shuttler. You had Leon. You finally gave Ali a break. Like, wow, Jim actually rotated for once. Like, what is going on right now? And, quietly, you've now built a 2-game winning streak. You have the potential to, I think, you could stretch it to 4. I think with Red Bull and with Columbus, I think you have the potential to keep this going and remember, you still have a game in hand because of your schedule. You still have a game in hand, so that'll come in big in this, this stretch. You can still finish as high as second. Second is not, out of reach. And I think there was all this doom and gloom going on, and we were guilty of it, of kind of being like, well, we're a little worried, and 2 pretty decent games back to back, and it seems like this team is, if this team can get hot in this last stretch, I'm not saying they're going to be dangerous, but you might host more than one playoff game if you can keep this going.
That's what it's all about, and that's what we kind of talked about when we got eliminated against Copa America. It's now fix this attack, get those little kinks out of the way, and let's focus on the playoffs. Let's get this ball rolling so we can move into the playoffs. Guys, don't look too far now, but I mean, our Philadelphia Union, with these back-to-back impressive performance, have escalated themselves in a tie for 4th place with Orlando City, and they have 38 points. And I think right now, I mean, Nashville's not a lock at 2, but obviously New England, there's no way no one's chasing New England. But for right now, I mean, there's no reason why the Union can't finish between 2 and 4. So absolutely, Justin, and it's all about momentum. Sports is it's very dependent on momentum, and I think that the Union just need to keep the ball rolling here. I want to ask you, Zach, because there's no secret. You're very critical on El Brujo Martinez. To me, I've seen like much better performances as of late. What did you see on Saturday? Because I thought he was one of the better players on the pitch.
He has been playing much better recently. And like his assist was fantastic. And that's an area where I'm cool with him dribbling. It's like the times where, but like it goes back to like the times where he dribbles like 25 yards outside our box and tries to split two defenders or two forwards, I guess, really. That's what like makes me nervous, and that's why I don't rate him as highly as other people do. Because sometimes he does do boneheaded stuff on the ball where like you're a defensive midfielder. Like if you are in your defensive third, your job is to connect passes and build us up the field, not do something magical and beat three people and dribble through them. You can do that when you're higher up the field, like he did, where he had that incredible assist. But yeah, I mean, he's been much better recently, and like I said, I think he's definitely going to be sold. Although he said he doesn't want to leave, but if the right price got like, I can't imagine teams aren't knocking on the door after his Copa America performance. So like in the range, like if the Union get offered like 2 to 3 million for him, like are they going to say no? No, right? Like you're saying yes to that.
Damn.
Especially with Leon at 20 years old, like you have his replacement already. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they have to go search for someone and pay for someone. PJ, you're right. Martinez does need to stop shooting. That is the one thing he needs to stop doing.
Yeah, holy guacamole! Like
Jim does bring up a good point as presser. By shooting that far, it does bring up the back line a little bit, which is able to open up some space for some of those forwards. Here's the issue. I've only seen one accurate shot by a Brujo like that, and I think that was against Club America, and that was an easy save by Memo Ochoa.
Memo kind of just like loaded, and like Memo could have started, he could have taken out and started making some al pastor tacos, and could have just set up a George Foreman and started cooking, and hell, he had some time to make that save.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that was it was a funny point that Jim brought up. Now, if it's Glesnes and it's 45 yards out, he better shoot now. But in all seriousness, I mean, I'm okay with the long shots. I just haven't seen El Brujo being all too dangerous with those long shots. Now, that remains to be seen. I mean, he could be lucky on one of them. There could be a deflection. All that type of stuff can very well happen. I'm not entirely too mad at. Now, one thing I will say, one thing I'm very critical on Brujo is Brujo needs to just relax sometimes. He's a little bit of a hothead, and I understand why. I mean, like, I could be like that too. And it's funny, Justin and Zach, we need to play soccer soon, because sometimes I feel like I do reckless. I'm not slide tackling and breaking people's ankles here. But the whole Barco, with the Ezekiel Barco stuff, that was hilarious. I'm sorry, but that was absolutely hilarious.
I'm fine with like shithousery and stuff like that. But like the thing is like it can't lead to a fight where then he ends up getting a red card for fighting. Like he can do that, and then someone can push him, and he just goes down, and that's it. And then the other guy gets the yellow or red card.
But that's the thing.
The issue is he will always fight back.
Well, I don't. Brujo is the type of guy that will instigate, but he never he draws you into it. He's really not the one that tends to. And like, listen, and this game, I've been saying this for a while, and I think for all the shit that like every time. And like the constant thing I heard after this game, and it's the same thing I've heard every single time since CCL, is if you didn't know soccer, you would think that the Union are the only team that engage in shithousery, in time wasting, and kind of maybe taking a little longer to take a goal kick or a throw in, or it's according to Atlanta fans, we're the only ones that ever do that, and Joseph Martinez did it one time, when he missed a goal and then looked like he was dying, and then within 2 minutes ran back on the field, and tried to take someone out. So like, it's just us. So I hope Atlanta fans, listen, it ain't just us, and whatever. Like I'm just tired of the same retreads of these takes.
It is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah.
you.
PJ, no heat, just a polo today. No heat, just a polo.
Pete showing some love to Zach's Japan kit. Zach, Justin, what is this Japan kit you're wearing?
It's the
Actual national team?
It's a national team kit. Yeah, that I honestly I saw this. And I think I ordered this in the other Columbia kit I have like the same day. It was like I think I had like I was it Adidas? It was like running like I had some money or whatever, so I got like both of them total like $60. It was pretty fire. Not gonna lie, I love this kit.
PJ, I will have both Venezia kits very soon.
Oh snap!
I will have both Venezia kits very soon. Paul Catrino, shout out, hooked it up. And I as soon as I get to a game, I will get those from Paul because he has them, and no one wants to waste money on shipping.
PJ, I'm sorry, I don't have all my fresh kits are upstairs. All I have next to me is a Jerome Brown jersey. So I lost. I lost. What is up, my man? What's up, Matt? We got yes, sir. I live in Venezia, not my Serie A team, but a huge soft spot for the side. Yeah, man. I happen to still have a soft spot for Napoli. I saw that win. Who they beat up? Was Genoa. It was a good win by them. I saw something else PJ mentioned. What's the chance that Casper breaks the scoring record this season?
The Union scoring record, or because it can't be the MLS scoring record?
No, I don't think. What Seba's record? I don't think that's.
I thought it was CJ. No.
Well,
doesn't Seba have it all time?
Wait, Seba or CJ has the. Are you talking about the single season?
Yeah.
That's what 16. And
what does it count? Wait, does
it
count
because it's just strictly regular.
Yeah, he's not breaking it.
Because that's
he's
only got 9.
What does he have? 9? Now. We have 7 games left, or no? We have 9 games left.
Couple hat tricks. Come on now,
dude. Let's talk about Casper real quick though, because
yes, please.
He scored 2 games in a row now, right? He's still back, not right? on. No, he is not.
Oh yeah. Let's just say Zach. I mean, you started talking smack, and
no. Listen. 4 games in a row, or 4 in 5. So if he scores in 2 of the next 3, or the next 2 in a row, I will give him the consistency mark of approval.
Actually, so I'm looking at it. 2019, he came close to tying it.
Yeah,
he had 15 and 4, and last year he had 8 and 6 in the regular season. So,
who's leading right now? Is it Rui Diaz still, or is
no, isn't it?
Let's look.
Ola Kamara.
Oh yeah, I think it is Kamara.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got another good one. Sergio Santos needs one more hat trick to be the leading hat tricker in Union history.
Yeah, Ola Kamara was 16. Rui Diaz was 14.
Seba, Roland Alberg, CJ Sapong, and Sergio all have 1 hat trick each in their Union career. So there you go, guys.
How has Rui Diaz been hurt? Because I feel like he's been on 14 goals for the past month and a half.
I think he subbed in the last game. I think he's coming back from injury.
Okay, because I was gonna say he's been on 14 goals for quite some time.
Here we go. CJ has it. It's 16 or 17.
16.
Gustavo Bo has 12 goals, and Carlos Hill has 16 assists.
We got a Justin Stan here. Very nice.
Dude, Carlos Hill is outrageous.
Yeah.
16 assists in 22 games.
Wait, what's El Pibe's record? 20-something?
I don't know, man. That's insanity.
I hope he doesn't break it, man. I hope he doesn't break that because we need to keep that with El Pibe Valderrama. But all right, so let's wrap up here. Look, we're getting the ball roll. That's the goal here. That's the motto here. In this ball, let's get momentum going. Let's race through here. There's an opportunity here to potentially get the 2nd seed. And I don't know about you guys, but I want as much home field advantage or home pitch advantage we can get in the playoffs. I know New England locked up the East, but if we can get a couple playoff home games, I will take that. I will absolutely take that. So we move on from Atlanta. We'll see. Well, hopefully we don't see those guys later. But next up, from one team we don't like to another team we don't like. Wednesday, we got a midweek match. We're traveling up to North Jersey to face off against the New York Red Bull. And look, it's kind of feels like a different New York Red Bull and Union matchup here. But we'll get into all that because you know why? We got on another guest to preview this match. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, a dear friend to the podcast, the only Red Bull fan we'll allow. No, we'll allow Red Bull fans here. But please, ladies and gentlemen, from the E-Pale Boys, Mattio! He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where, Mattio.
Straight to my heart. How are my favorite Philadelphians? How are you guys?
I'd say doing pretty well right about now.
The Eagles fans aren't great, but I'm doing just fine. I'm doing just fine.
Yeah, no, I'm an old man. I'm in bed at like 9:45 most nights.
I'm not jealous of that.
And yeah, I woke up this morning. I saw that score line. I was like, ugh, Philly. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy being a Philly sports fan. So we went through that. Currently, right now, I have the Phillies losing to the Braves, which in a semi-much must-win game here. And tomorrow, I'm hoping that the Union can put a smile on my face. But we'll get to all that. But, Matt, first off, man, we want to know, how are you doing, man? How are the EPL boys doing these days? And give me the Everton update, please, because obviously, I'm not watching too much Prem these days.
Well, Everton are doing pretty good. I'm not an Everton fan, but Everton are doing pretty good. They honestly... the big issue is how are they going to replace James Rodriguez with him now on his way to Qatar. The big thing was, how are they going to replace him? And they brought in for almost no money. They brought in Townsend from Crystal Palace and Damari Gray from Leicester.
Damari Gray's been unreal.
And for the amount of money they spent on him, they spent pennies theoretically. And this guy has been phenomenal. And honestly, Everton, especially now under Rafa Benitez, they could be building something. But the EPL boys are good. JD is good. We are, we're chugging along our 2 episodes a week as always. So, quick shout out. Give us a follow on the Instagram because I've been lazy and I haven't been on Twitter. So, yeah, that's literally the only reason to check us out on Instagram. Yeah.
I don't blame you. Wait, Matt just said Everton's actually spending good money. That's the first time I've heard that in a while. So we started this podcast off on the right note there. All right.
There you go. There you go. Anything can happen. And that's why I'm hoping going into talking about the Red Bull, anything can happen.
Absolutely. Let's get to that. But before we get to any action on the pitch, look, we all saw what the Viking supporters group tweeted out. And I think for most fans, I don't care if you're a Union, NYCFC, or even if you're an LA Galaxy fan, I think you can connect to what the Viking supporters group were saying. We've all seen what's been going on with the Red Bull, especially us here in Philly. We watched it closely. You guys have developed a lot of great young talent and not really seen the profit from it. You guys have definitely declined. And you're upset. And I think you guys deserve to feel upset for what the club has been doing to you guys. Kind of like talk about what's been going on with that situation. Anything you can add on? I know you go to your fair share of matches at Red Bull Arena, and just kind of the state of the Union, I guess you could say, with Red Bull fans.
Well, funny enough that you say State of the Union. To go on to the attendance, I don't think I've missed the game now for like 5 or 6 years, and I don't know if that's a compliment or a punishment, but
yes.
But honestly, funny enough, I have the toughest time agreeing with Alexi Lawless on 90% of the things that come out of his mouth.
He sucks.
Now you and like every fan. Let's be honest here.
He's the worst.
But I'll be honest. And honestly, I usually don't listen to his stuff, but someone did share it along our Viking Army group chat. And they did like, hey, just skip to 10 minutes. And honestly, everyone has seen his tweet and how he is 100% backing what the Viking Army did. And honestly, what was kind of a shock is, at least for the Viking Army's point of view, is our fellow supporters in the supporters group, because it is divided into 3 separate groups. they were behind us. They understood what we did, and it seemed like, hey, we get it, because we're the ones traveling all the way to the West Coast. We're the ones going all the way to Canada. We're the ones traveling. We're the ones who are investing more of our money and time into this club than anyone else. Our biggest problem is we got a lot of backlash from our other fellow supporters, those outside of the supporter sections. And that was something that I know personally, people who took a lot of hate, and basically it was back and forth on social medias. And I haven't heard anything kind of like where it's an in-person confrontation, but this will be our first home game since the sign. And I'm very interested into seeing how things play out. It is going to be very interesting. But to what Alexi Lalas was saying is, we're not paying to watch our best players go to Europe. We're not paying money and giving our time to just see the product for a year. I mean, Caden Clark is a prime issue. This kid isn't even fully developed yet, and he's already going to Leipzig next year. Like, we don't even get to see the semi-finished result. Like, at least with Tyler Adams, we got a year and a half, 2 years. With some of the other guys we've had, we get a year, and then they're gone. And it's extremely unfair. I mean, I'm someone who follows everything going on in the USL as well. So a lot of these kids coming through, the 15 and 16-year-olds, I'm seeing them, and it's extremely upsetting to see at 15 or 16 years old, a year or two before they're even probably going to be considered for the MLS squad, they're already being hinted at going to Salzburg. Or, hey, Jesse Marsch is keeping an eye at him from Leipzig. And it's like, okay, cool. This guy is another. The writing's on the wall. You can see what is going to happen before it even happens. And honestly, for fans, that's the reason why I think our attendance has gotten to where it is, because it's no secret, Red Bull Arena, it's tough to have such a big stadium, because we have a larger stadium compared to some MLS teams. It's hard to fill it because people aren't going to come for 16 and 17-year-old academy kids and a bunch of players who they've never heard of before. They came for Sasha Kleshtin. They came for Luis Robles. They came for Bradley Wright Phillips. All these guys are gone now. And honestly, that's the thing that's kind of now separating the entire fan base. Some people are just, hey, this is the process. It's what you pay for. And then, like I said, most of the supporters, this just isn't good enough. We're traveling. I mean, I have flight plans for multiple games, not only for the rest of this season, but already lined up for the next season when the set schedule gets released. I'm putting in my time, money, and patience into this club, and I'm basically being told from fellow supporters that, hey, you guys have it good. Stop complaining.
Damn, and of course, of all matches, to have this first match since that incident, it's against the Union. You know, go figure with that one. But I definitely sympathize, and I understand what exactly you are saying. Real quick, I wanted to ask you out of curiosity, have you guys lost the majority of the actual New York citizens to NYCFC?
Yes and no. So really, I mean, I personally have not seen someone who has been coming to games for years, coming from the New York area, who has decided, hey, yeah, I'm just not going to come anymore. I'm going to go to the closer team. That we saw our initial drop in fans the second the team had their inaugural season. Basically, it looked like a lot of people committed right from there that, hey, I'm just going to go support them. They're closer. Or, hey, I don't like what the Red Bull are doing. I'm going to go because David Villa and Manchester City, that's what they're going to go for. They're going to go for Andre Pirlo. They're going to go for guys like that. Yeah, that worked out well.
Wait, hold on. The irony of that statement, going from a energy drink conglomerate to oil money.
Yeah.
It's so much better morally.
I mean, really. Honestly, I just find it extremely, extremely funny that, it's too funny that now, it's no surprise as well. You see on social media. And again, I'm not going to sit here and make fun of another team situation, but now NYCFC supporters have started their homeless campaign where they're all walking around with homeless t-shirts because they don't have a home. Yeah, that's pathetic, because there's actual people who are homeless, and you guys are complaining that you guys are being ran by a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm sorry, but yeah. It's one of those things where basically people, like, originally when the teams were like, when that team was announced, people went over. We were seeing limited edition, like, first season, like, still ML, like, still when the first years of Red Bull Arena, there were South Ward scarves that were created, like specific South Ward scarves. And now we're seeing some of them in the third rail. They're just flipped upside down. You can tell that, some people did leave, but I don't think our attendance slowly declining. It's them going to City. I think it's them just stop watching, or at least stop supporting MLS in general, because NYCFC are still in a very bad position. Their stadium, just like ours, is experiencing some of the lowest attendance that they've ever experienced since the club started. And I don't know if that also has to do with anything with COVID. I know COVID is still a massive factor. I know supporters who have gone to every single game since I've been a part of the club, since, right around when Red Bull Arena first started, and they haven't come, even though they're vaccinated and they understand the situation. They just don't want to come because they still don't feel well enough to go. So it is one of those things where people are still very hesitant. And I feel like it's going to take a few years before every MLS team is going to be able to experience a full crowd.
I will say this. I don't care how you may feel about Red Bull or about NYCFC. If you love the MLS, you have to recognize what the MLS is allowing to happen in the New York market is a disgrace. The fact that the Red Bull have been treated like the bottom of the Red Bull pyramid, and the same thing goes with City. I mean, I think I'm not sure what goes on in Melbourne City, but obviously we know Man City is the top dog, and there's really not much of a care for NYCFC besides collecting that check. But I think the MLS needs to step in somehow. I don't know if it's Red Bull. I don't think Red Bull will sell off or City won't sell off, but like a little heads up, a little wake up call. I mean, I literally saw the NBA walk into my Sixers and say, "You got to stop this tanking." I'm not, and I don't know. I don't understand why Garber can't say, "Hey, this is what's happening. This is the biggest market in our country."
Wait, I can give you about, what is it, 300 million reasons? Is that the current? Is that what Charlotte's paying? Is that the current
350
asking price of expansion fees right now? So I'll definitely say that is a big factor, because Garber has said it himself. Like, the league's expanding. You have Charlotte coming in next year. You have St. Louis coming in the following year. You have, right now, I believe Las Vegas is leading for that next spot that was going to be Sacramento's.
That'd be a cool city to have.
Yeah, that would be a great city to have.
Yeah.
But
I think the Raiders and Knights.
Yeah.
Dude.
John, I will say, I think the slight difference between how Red Bull is treated and how NYCFC are treated, I'm not sure it's a direct correlation. If you look at NYCFC, yeah, they're not exactly high on the totem pole, but a lot of players have been able to start at NYCFC, and then, and they do the whole thing, they loan out to various. You look at, was it, I think Angel Herrera was loaned from Man City to NYCFC. Jack Harrison was one where
I was about to say Jack Harrison's the big one.
He was in college, went to NYCFC. Really, he was at Leeds, and I think now it's finally official that he was sold. But I think it's not so much as a feeder club, more NYCFC is kind of treated as a launching pad. Now their stadium situation is terrible, but I mean, it's, in all honesty, Red Bull, like, at this point, I'm curious if they're even treated higher than, what was it, I could say, is it Brazilian club?
Yeah, it is Brazil. Yeah.
Like, are they even lower than the Brazilian club? Because it seems like, Red Bull at this point, New York is just, hey, we have a product in America. That's it. Like, they don't actually.
The only thing I would say, I mean, it also depends. I mean, Fabio, is actually a product of the Brazilian Red Bull team. So him being loaned to us is kind of very interesting, because a lot of fans, including myself, are sitting here going, wait, is that them loaning him to us because it thinks it'll make us better? Or is it just because we're lower on the totem pole and they're just trying to get a guy playing time? Again, this is kind of like,
maybe say he then goes to Salzburg and Leipzig. Is it like a reverse kind of slingshot effect?
I have, again, when it comes to this entire system that I'm a part of, unfortunately, we really don't know. And honestly, and I think that's the part I think for fans that sucks the most. I mean, honestly, this is how I look at it. And I agree. I agree with what Alexi Lala said, where it's just basically like, it's hard to invest time and money and patience and passion into a club that you know what you're going to get from. Like, you know you're going to get. And then the Red Bull will turn around and, complain that, oh, well, if more people were in the stands, we would be able to do something about it. Well, yeah, put something on the field. You're going to get your season ticket holders. You're always going to get your season ticket holders. Your job as a club is to get the non-season ticket holders through the door to attend a game, to get concessions, to go into a bowl shop, to buy a jersey. That's your club's responsibility. And yet, for some odd reasons, they're looking at us like it's the supporters' fault. Oh, the supporters don't show up, therefore we must not care. That's 100% not true. Trust me, this team could be in dead last, and I'd still show up to games. Yeah, would my pride and passion be through the roof? Again, that would be I'd have to see it. But at some points this season, we hit rock bottom, at least what we thought of for this club. And, it's again, it's frustrating. And I mean, honestly, I feel like every club at some point has gone through it, unless you're Seattle or Atlanta, where basically you entered the league and basically just dumped a ton of money into your system. And hey, within 2 years, you won a trophy. Honestly, I think that's something that, like, for a lot of Red Bull fans, ever since Atlanta won a trophy, and again, we at this point consider Atlanta a decent rival. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near a main rival, but a decent rival to us, because they came in the league and immediately contested with us with being one of the best teams in the MLS. And the reason why they had an X factor is because they dumped a ton of money into a great defensive structure, at least MLS-wise, world-class center attacking mid, and a world-class striker, at least MLS standards. Like, that was the X factor. That was the thing Red Bull and no other team could keep up with. Look what Seattle's doing. They just dump money into their system, and it works. New England have dumped money into the system, and it works. It's a shame that certain clubs, I'm only going to mention mine at the moment, and you don't invest money. You bank your entire team structure on a bunch of unproven guys from Europe and a bunch of 16, 17, and 18-year-olds through the academy. And then you complain, why aren't things working? That's basically taking a bunch of puzzle pieces from different boxes and trying to put them all together, and then you're complaining on why it doesn't fit.
Sounds eerily similar to Philadelphia, just the results a little different.
Well, I don't want to cut you off, but honestly, I like what Philly's done. I like the fact that you guys have a manager that you've built a system with. You have a mixture of balance of, senior guys who are able to grab victories, as well as mixing some of that youth in the process as well. Like, you guys have, in my opinion, one of the best players in the MLS in Andre Blake. And I look at him and I go, that's something an entire team can build on. And I think that's what Aaron Long was originally for this club. He was the senior star that the entire team could look at and be like, hey, he's going to make sure that we're keeping our head straight. Now, he took that injury, and again, that did hurt. But honestly, the Red Bull were not in a good position when that happened.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think for me, the main difference between both the clubs is obviously the ownership structure. Obviously, we are, I guess, semi-independently owned by Jay Sugarman's company, but I think Union fans are worried because I still think we're early on in our process of success. But I think we worry about relying too much on this academy, whereas right now we have a good team, but we still lack that killer to find, like you just mentioned, like a Miguel Almiron or a Josef Martinez or, even out in Seattle, Raul Diaz, and we're still lacking that. And I think that's what Union fans are worried about, is if we won't put up that money to go get that player that can escalate us into a championship caliber team.
Yeah.
We are, you know what? I shouldn't even say that because we are now, but the team that, you know, like what New England's doing right now. But
having a center forward who's going to score, like, no, but seriously, like Matt said, like having someone like Josef Martinez, right, totally changes the shape of your club because of the fact that out of nothing, he could win you a game by himself. And that was the same thing with Almiron too. They had two of them. The Union right now, as much as I think Daniel Gazdag could be that guy, he's still getting accustomed to MLS and he's still getting accustomed to the whole system that they're running. You don't have another guy like that. Like Casper's not taking the ball from 45, 50 yards from our goal, beating 7 people and putting one in the top corner. I hate to break it to everyone, but he's not doing it. He's going to score his tap-ins every once in a while, and it's going to be good. But having a talisman who you can – and we have one in the back, which is – and Andre keeps us in games, but he can't win us games. He can keep us from losing games. And that's the difference, I think, for Philly especially, is we have the foundation of something that could be great. It's just they haven't splurged enough to make it what it could be.
Very good points. These are definitely good points. Matt, I want to know about this current New York Red Bull team that we're about to face off tomorrow. You guys, look, we talked about what went down on Twitter and all the supporters group drama. Alexi Lawless had to get involved, but you wound up bouncing back and you got yourselves a solid win against NYCFC on Saturday, 1-0. What is this team that we're going to face off against tomorrow? What should we be looking out for?
The key things are, and this is, and again, I'm saying this with about the biggest grain of salt on humanly possible. You're going to be playing against a Red Bull side where confidence looks like they're on the up. Like, honestly, a massive win on the road against Inter Miami, which, I mean, not a big win. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I looked at my friends. It was an away game, so we all met up somewhere. And I literally said, if we don't beat Miami tonight, I'm just TV's off for the rest of the year. We got a very, very lucky draw against City. But honestly, it was a draw where we didn't deserve to be in the game. We had to create a little bit of our own luck and a very lucky handball in the 98th minute or something like that. And yeah, that's a little bit of that. That's some Fergie time love right there. But again, that's still a result where Red Bull fans and Red Bull players walked out of the game feeling very confident. And then to turn around to go to City only a few days later. And with all due respect to anything City fans might think, but Red Bull played them out of the stadium. If the Red Bull could have found any decent shooting boots that night, that game could have easily been 2-0 or 3-0. And that's been the Red Bull's biggest problem, is the Red Bull have no issue going after the first goal. They'll get the first goal. The one problem they have is putting pedal to the metal to get the second goal. That's the issue Red Bull have had all season. When we played against you guys, being a man up, we scored a goal, and then we sat back and parked the bus against a 10-man side. I've never seen any team in soccer ever do that, and that's the reason why we dropped 2 points. This entire season has been based off of dropping points, unnecessary points. The team you're going to get this weekend, I could probably tell you right off the bat who you're going to get starting lineup-wise. More than likely, you are going to get a back four. John Tolkien being probably the brightest star of this season, 18 years old, of course. An academy product has to be our, shining star. You're probably going to get Sean Nealis. You're going to get Andres Reyes, who has been who's stepped up massively over the past few weeks. He's been just having injury problems all season, but it looks like he's finally healthy. Tom Edwards.
No more red cards. No more red cards.
Well, I'd like to say confidently no, but I'm going to knock on wood because
he's got some bad distaste towards us too, guys. Remember the MLS is Back tournament?
Great, that's what I need. That's what I need. Andres Reyes with an edge. God, that's like going into a candy store with a child and just saying no the whole time. Eventually, something's just going to blow up. You're going to get Tom Edwards, another shining star for this club. He has been he has been someone. I see the Caden Clark thing. I'll get to that in a second. You're going to get Tom Edwards, who has been a massive, massive boost for our back line. Coming from Stoke City, he clearly is the veteran presence back there. And he's done an absolutely incredible job. His long throwing capabilities have been huge for this team. We've gotten a couple really nice goals, or at least caused a little bit of chaos from the fact that he can probably throw the ball in from basically the quarter mark all the way to the corner flag. So he does give us that X factor of basically having a corner anywhere on his side of the field if we get a throw in. In the midfield, you're going to get your probably usual suspect. You're going to get Sean Davis, a captain who has been stepping up. Christian Caceres Jr. has been huge. You're going to get Omir Fernandez, who might finally be the replacement to Kaku this club finally has had. It's only taken so many years for a coach to actually trust him. So you're probably most likely going to get him. As well, you may get Caden Clark. There's no guarantee you might, because Drew Yearwood has been playing absolutely incredible. He has been a perfect complement to Sean Davis and CCJ for that defensive structure that they're looking to do. The Red Bull will play more defensive and allow just their 3 players to go forward. The 3 players being Omir Fernandez. You're most likely going to get a front 2 of Fabio and Patrick Kamala. Kamala, who has now, I believe, gone 3 or 4 straight games with a goal. So he is, oh no, he did not score in the last one. So he was on a streak of 3 straight games with a goal before the away game against City. Again, this team is going to press. Honestly, I think we talked about this the last time we were here, which is both teams are going to kind of have the same game plan. They're both going to set up in the diamond in the middle with a 2-striker system. They're going to press you very hard. I said the last time we were here, what I thought the X factor was going to be was Philadelphia's experience. Because at the time when we first played you guys, we were still a very young team that didn't really know each other. So we're still getting used to it. And I think that's probably going to be the biggest X factor going into tomorrow's game.
Very good point. I remember John Tolkien definitely was tearing us up, especially in that first half of that first game on that rainy night in North Jersey.
And Tom Edwards also seems to be like perpetually like someone just told him that like Santa Claus doesn't exist, and he's just like that perpetual like.
He's done like fan interviews. Like we like sometimes even with COVID, like the Red Bull have been active where they're still doing like fan like events and stuff like that. And Tom Edwards has done some from a distance. He just looks like a guy who wants to be happy, just doesn't know how to be happy.
Exactly. Like
he just always he just looks upset and mad 24/7. And sometimes you kind of want that in a defender. I don't want my defenders smiling. I want my defenders looking really mad.
Yeah, but the guys that smile are the ones that are good at like 2 foot. Like, you ever seen Daniel Agger back in the day come with a 2 foot? He had the biggest shit-eating grin on the planet.
Yeah, but he looked like a psychopath.
Yeah, but
that's the difference. And he had tattoos all over his body. He would be one of the most like he'd be one of the players I'd like to play against the least in my life. Daniel Agger.
All right, guys. Justin, if you do the honors, give us your prediction lineups. Zach, let us know if you agree or disagree for tomorrow's Union starting 11.
I mean, again, I've always say goalkeeper can be written in permanent marker. It's Andre, unless he's on national team duty. It's Andre. It always has been, always will be. You know, at this point, Andre will be. You know, even when he retires, I'll just keep writing Blake, and then maybe they'll sign another goalie named Blake. So it just kind of keeps repeating.
He gets his number retired like as soon as he retires, right? Like for sure.
Well, we'll see. I don't know about number. He'll be a Ring of Honor member for sure. But your back line, I'm gonna say the same. I mean, the biggest thing, and I said it before, Olivier and Kai did great jobs of pinning that 3-5-2 into a 5-3-2. Like, you pin back those wing backs and made that you forced them to alter their game plan. And Pineda even admitted he did it too late. They really didn't adapt as well as they should have. I think in the midfield, I think the one change is probably going to be you're going to have Ali back. I think you gave Ali a rest. Or, I mean, I don't know if his status. I believe he should be back. If he is back, I think he's the clear. You put him in on the other side, I think. and I want to hope that I think that Gazdag will keep his spot at the top. And I mean, he did a pretty good job, and I think having Jamiro come off the bench wouldn't be a bad thing. And then your strikers, I think it's going to be Casper and Sergio. I mean, Sergio did go 85, which was surprising, but I mean, I think with a few days rest, I think he'll be right at it. And it's, I say, with Union Red Bull games, it's always kind of, it's a back and forth. And the last time I said it, and I remember where I was in West Virginia, and I predicted 1-1 on the pod, and Matt texts me around midnight and goes, "What in the hell? You were right." Like, he's like, "I got wet for nothing. You were right." And I just said, "Man, I'm not usually right about these things." Like, wow. I think this is going to be another draw. And I mean, I think 1-1 seems to be the consensus draw score for Union Red Bulls. So I'm sticking with 1-1. Even as good as both teams have been playing, and I'm confident in the way the Union have been playing, it's an away game. I know we have more away games in this last stretch of the season, but still, I at Red Bull at this point, I'd rather just go take a draw and come back and focus on Columbus on Sunday.
Very interesting, your lineup, because of that. I see a lot of those starting guys in there. Very interesting. Yeah. Zach, what do you think?
Lineup wise, I think that makes a lot of sense. Jim, though, I think is going to start Montero at the 10 because he loves to do that for some strange reason that I will never understand. So I think that's going to happen. I wouldn't do it myself, but I think Gazdag comes off the bench or doesn't come off the bench because, again, Jim doesn't like to sub very often. And score-wise, I think I'm going with Justin, but I think it's going to be 2-2. Draw 2-2.
I will say this, and we didn't talk about this in the Atlantis part of this episode, but Justin and I saw it. When Aronson came in the match, that's definitely when the goal happened for Casper, but the attack definitely did look a little bit more fluid as well. And I'm just putting that out there to you guys. Definitely just putting that out there to you guys. But I would like to see, so if you're gonna go with Daniel Gazek as your 10, I would rather see Jamiro start against Columbus. Either or. One of those guys have to sit and come off the bench. And I'm not sure if I would start Sergio Santos in this match as well, because I think I want him for Columbus, and I would rather have Sergio come out for 30 minutes against Red Bull if we need him.
So who's starting up top then? Quinn or Davo?
You know me. I love
or Paxton.
I love me some Quinn. I think he can play that role. I would definitely start him there. Honestly, I know Jim's not going to do it. I want to start Davo. I know he's not going to do that. But I think there's more of a likelihood that Quinn starts there. And Quinn did sub on as one of the strikers. So I think that's what I will see. That's what I would rather see. One other thing I wanted to mention, I'm very curious. The matchup that I'm curious to see is Mbaizo versus Tolkien, because like I mentioned, Tolkien definitely got the better of Mbaizo in that first matchup. And I will say Mbaizo has looked better defensively. I don't think he'll ever be a polished defensive fullback. I think his game is creating on the attack, but he's definitely looked better, and I want to see how he bounces back from that one. Matt,
to be fair to Mbaizo, there aren't many defensive fullbacks anymore. There's like one.
Kai was good in 2019, and he's kind of like been iffy.
We had one. It was Ray Gaddis.
That's true. That's true. Now the only one really plays for Man U.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, that's about all he can do.
And as a United fan, as much as I appreciate what Aaron Wan-Bissaka does, it's absolutely cringeworthy to watch this guy have the ball just outside the box, and you just see him like doing stutter steps because he physically can't take anyone on offensively, and just watching him just put in balls that are 20 yards over Cristiano Ronaldo's head is like, it's just basically like you just put your head into a pillow and just scream really, really loud.
Yeah, no, I tend to do that a lot as a fellow United fan.
Which is crazy because he played winger for Palace. Like, he was a winger for so long. How are you so bad at one-on-one attacking? I don't understand.
My
Very good
goodness.
points. Zach, the person you're thinking of, I think, is Nathan Harrell. Nathan Harrell has been the only young defender I could think of. Matt, your prediction for tomorrow before we sign off here.
It sounds crazy. It's a midweek game. So the travel. I mean, I'm not putting the travel really into perspective here because
come on, oh yeah, right up, right
at
up,
that hour and a half, man.
Yeah.
Take the turnpike, baby.
There are players. I know for a fact there are players who will be traveling more than an hour and 30 minutes to get to the stadium for that game. So travel means absolutely nothing. Honestly, this sounds crazy. I am going to go with a 2-1 victory for the New York Red Bull on one premise and one premise alone is the Red Bull know if they're going to mount any type of playoff run. Lucky enough, every team above us at the current moment, we play to finish the season. Like, it's funny enough. We play Inter, we play Columbus, we play City still. We still play all these teams that are in the playoff spots above us. We play Atlanta. We play all these guys.
If the 7 points away too. If
the Red Bull want to go on a run, the City game is a huge boost of confidence. And honestly, I feel that if the Red Bull are going to go for it, they're going to go for it. But the issue I'm going to have with that is I'm afraid if they push too much, the senior experience that Philadelphia has will beat us up and end up Philly could easily flip this scoreline. But I'm going to think confident, I'm sipping my Red Bull in a teacup.
Pinky's out.
And Pinky's out. I think a 2-1 scrappy victory. I think it's super scrappy. I definitely see retaliation coming from the, Drew Yearwood body slam that happened just before halftime in the past home game. So I don't know. I think there's going to be fireworks. I know there was fireworks in the game against Atlanta for you guys. And honestly, I feel like this is just another day at paradise for you guys.
It definitely should. It definitely should. Matt, thank you so much for hopping back on, my man. First off, where can people find you and where can people find the EPL boys?
So if you want to find the EPL boys, it's exactly that tag at the EPL boys on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Basically, get your daily English Premier League content. We put out 2 episodes a week. We have absolutely ridiculously funny banter. It's a Liverpool fan and a Man United fan trying to not yell at each other through speakers. So trust me, it gets really good and really, really funny. And then you can always find me most places. If you just type in Matt CIA on Twitter, it's Matty because someone has Matt_CIA bastard. What a horrible person. What a horrible person. So find me on Twitter for daily crying emojis of me being both a United and a Red Bull fan. It's good content for the neutral provider. So guys, I can't thank you enough as always.
Thank you, man.
I saw the game creeping up and I'm just sitting here like, do I reach out to them? Do they reach out to me?
we literally talked about it and I'm like, it was Sunday and I'm like, wait, when are we recording? I should reach out to Matt.
I just the 2 matches.
I just got the message and I almost wanted to find the gif of Dr. Evil turning in a chair and been like, I've been expecting you.
I love it.
Wrong direction.
No, you guys, like I said, you guys, and then a shout out, of course, to Jared and Adam. You guys are my favorite Philadelphians on earth. I love you guys. And I'm telling you right now, I am absolutely hell-bent that next year I will be visiting, whether the Red Bull are playing or not. I am hell-bent to be visiting you guys in Chester. And I want to have a good time with you guys. So by all means, I am super excited. And of course, you guys, if you ever find your way down up the I-95 and feel like stopping in Harrison for a soccer game, you let me know. I'm your guy.
If it wasn't a midweek game, I think I told you, I was coming up.
Don't even get me started on this midweek game shit.
Matt, I will make a promise to you. On September 28th, this episode of DOOP by the River, if Columbia does their tour in America again at Red Bull Arena, I will take you with me, my man. That's how much I think of you, man. I'm taking you to a Columbia match, dude.
Done deal. Let's party. Wait.
Can I get involved?
Let's do it. Zach, you want to come? Let's go, man.
If I'm available, I should be there.
Oh my god.
Where's that aguardiente, man? Come on,
Yes.
you gotta get it back at going.
I'm telling you right now, speaking of the Viking Army, man, half of those guys, they put on an absolute party in the parking lot. So I'll tell you right now, it is going to be an absolute fun time.
Awesome stuff. The gang takes over the Columbia match. I like that episode. Matt, thanks again, guys. Make sure you guys check him out. Of course, guys, make sure if you're watching this live on El Parcero Phillies YouTube channel, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. We'll be back at it later this week to preview the Columbus match. We'll give you that date a little later, but we'll be back on PSN for then. So make sure you guys are subscribed there so you can watch it on there. And of course, this episode will be on PSN Radio, which can be found anywhere you stream podcasts from Apple, Google, and Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Matt Sia. Is Zach Boston. That is Justin Guzan, Tier Harvester Freiberg. And of course, I go by the name of El Parcero Philly, and we're telling you guys to DOOP on. Talk to you soon.